Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome to Dark Souls, the Remastered Edition. Because after finishing Demon's Souls, I figured I might as well continue my walking tour of Souls games. Now, like Demon's Souls, I feel it's important to note I'm probably not going to do everything. There's probably going to be some things that I missed. If I did miss something, let me know in the comments below, because it'll probably be too late for me to actually experience it in-game, but at the very least, I can find out. But ultimately, just to kind of re-experience the game that I've played so many years before. Let us begin. We will name our character Malice, as I seem to be going with for most of my player characters these days. What class are we going to play as? So last time, with Demon's Souls, I feel like I made a little bit of a mistake, which might also be my general issue with playing these Souls games, is I don't really pay that much attention to what weapons scale with. And I suppose there's the expectation that if you're like a stronger character that uses a strength-based weapon, that you might do more damage, but like even Demon's Souls has exploits that you could use depending on how weapons scale. So let's see, what we can go with warrior, probably not knight. Aimless Wanderer. That probably will describe whatever the hell it is I'm going to be doing in this upcoming playthrough. Thief, high critical hits, has a master key. Although that's I tend to play Thief more often than not. Partially because I like, actually entirely because I like the speed of the thief's rolls, but I'm not necessarily good at parries, so I might lean in towards sorcery. But I want to say I've heard that pyromancy is overpowered for Dark Souls. And the Wanderer does have a little bit higher intelligence than most other starting classes, with the exception of the Thief, but the Wanderer also has higher dexterity, so that could emphasize those weapons that scale in that fashion. We are not brave enough to be deprived, I can assure you of that. Let us be a wanderer, actually. Our gift is going to be the master key? Yeah. Physique. Face is fine, hair is... It's kind of awkward going from the Demon's Souls remake to the Dark Souls 1 remastered because the facial features just aren't quite as nice. And who cares what my hair color is, because... And really, who cares what any of these character customization options are for like appearance's sake, because once I start the game, I will be a ghoul. But for now, let us set up the world.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark.
That presents an interesting idea. Like, are the dragons themselves
Then,
represented
from the dark,
of light or
came,
darkness? Because they existed
and
prior
found the
to the
souls of
flame,
lords within the flame.
existing within the fog.
Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters.
I like
of
the
chaos.
detail in the Witch of Izalith's hands, which presents the idea that, like, even though she carries the flame, it still burns her palms.
And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
When it comes to Dark Souls lore, I have absolutely no idea
With
who the furtive
strength
pygmy
of
is
gods,
or was.
They challenged the dragon.
Actually, not no idea. I've heard a rumor state that the furtive pygmy
Gwyn's mighty bullets.
may or may not be your character from... No, it wouldn't be your character from Demon Souls because that's a different storyline. So yeah, I have no idea who the furtive pygmy is.
Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the scales, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain.
What's the phrase that I've heard once? Darkness is the natural state of the universe,
Even now, there
because
are
all
only
stars will
endless,
eventually die.
and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
And much like an Elder Scrolls game, you begin in a
Yes,
prison,
indeed.
your past behind you,
The dark
unimportant
side brands
to the
the
adventure
undead.
that follows.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the
Also,
north.
who is the narrator in this case? Is the narrator someone who
Where they
exists
are
within the
locked
world?
away to await the end of the world.
Or is this more like an external narrator situation?
This is your fate.
I like how the narrator kind of almost gets to a near whisper when finally speaking of you. Oh look, the beautifully rendered face that I customized myself. I'm wondering how Elden Ring is going to handle character customization, and whether there will one day be a From Software game in which character customization is actually meaningful to a degree where you can look at your character and be like, wow, the features of my character can be seen past whatever costume that they're wearing. A little bit of a jump. Ah. You know, it's realistic that you would hit walls if you're standing too close to them, but it's not necessarily fun in gameplay terms. The only other game I can think of that has a kind of like a close comparison to that sort of feeling, where you're constantly impacting the environment, when, like, it would be more fun not to, is Max Payne 3. Because, like, in Max Payne 1 and 2, you can dive through the air in slow motion. And if you dive through the air in slow motion and you hit a wall, you'll just more or less kind of slide along that wall. Whereas in Max Payne 3, if you dive through the air in slow motion and hit a wall, you will bang right up against that wall, come out of slow motion, because you just hit your head against the wall. Which, immediately interrupts your dive, which also means that if you're in a room with a lot of enclosed areas, the entire idea of diving to the left and right becomes risky, and you're more likely to want to dive forward towards an enemy or towards known platforms, known obstructions. And then we've got this fellow. Now, towards the beginning, you're going to see more areas in this game that I will recognize. I've played this area more than once. I've watched other people play this area. The farther I get, the less I'm going to know, until all of my knowledge has faded from memory. Alright, it's not bad, although there's a little bit of a... there's a little bit of a wind-up. I've never used the scimitar in any of the Souls games, and... the character raises their arm, turns the wrist, then pulls back, then circles around and swings. Which does create a delay in the attack. How is, So two-handing it is faster. And that first attack is always going to be delayed. Where does this go? What was I saying about having played, Did I just go backwards the way I came? Yes, I did. What was I just saying about, knowing this area? Clearly, that is a false claim. That item we won't be able to get for a little while. Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. It all depends on whether I actually remember that it's there. Although, that's the thing, I suppose I will remember that I have to go back here at some point. So. Excuse me, sir. Ow. Oh. That was successful. Imagine that. I do not expect to do well in regards to parries in this game, because I've never been particularly good in parries at the Souls games.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family: thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
But first, can you explain to me why your family's saying is an extremely long instruction manual on how to open a gate to Sen's fortress? Like, that's all it really is. You still have to go through Sen's fortress before you get picked up and taken to Anor Londo. And then, in theory, if ringing the bells of awakening just... Alright, that wasn't bad, even though I did also take damage. If ringing the bells of awakening informed you of the fate of the undead, wouldn't the ringing of the last bell really mean that the next part should be Anor Londo? Maybe? It's unclear. Ah. Alright. That wasn't a bad parry, I suppose. Why, hello. Honestly, all of these are not bad parries. I assure you, I will... there's going to be a point in time in which either I stop doing parries or I'm just really bad at them, and that causes me to stop. But for now, let us fight this boss down below. Hello, how are you? Ow. I was thinking I was going to be able to stay ahead of you. Ow. You won't get me that way. Yeah, I just need to nudge him like once, and then he's done for. And he's done for. Fantastic. The Big Pilgrim Key has been acquired. Actually, now that I remember something, let's find that soul. Never mind. Let's find that key. Big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim. But this chosen undead knows not what this pilgrimage has in store. Yeah, this game has a lot of story elements hidden within item descriptions. I will probably not read every single item description, but maybe one here or there, you know, just for kicks. Just to remember where the lore in the story is. Nope, almost forgot. What does, I forget, this person needs, warm and soft, right? But is saying nothing now. Keep your secrets, then.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Where are the lords staying? They're all staying at Lordran. That's where the lords are going to be found. But don't worry, they're not going to lord their title over you or anything. They just want to emphasize that they're cool. Alright. What are we gonna... Okay, for leveling up, what are we gonna do differently than what we did before? What is the... So this scales at a B for dexterity and E for strength. What we can always use is more vitality and endurance. And then we'll throw another point into dex. Alright, and now we're going to explore for a little bit.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new...
I know, I just showed up.
Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Yeah, good chat. I'm glad we had this conversation. Let's take the elevator down. This firekeeper has no tongue. She cannot speak. I have no firekeeper soul to reinforce the flask with. One of the things that I like to do in regards to any new playthrough in this game is I don't explore the area down this elevator shaft, but I like to head down and pick up a couple items so that I have them early, I guess. I think there's usually like a couple souls, maybe a weapon. I look off down the bridge to where there are ghosts, but I do not worry about fighting said ghosts, 'cause I am not ready for that just yet. I am ready for these guys. Wow, that was, I did not realize it was going to have that much. Yeah, so they were strong attack. Ooh. That's automatically 2 hits. Interesting. Let's try doing the strong attack and then follow that up with, yep. And then that follows up with a faster weak attack. Why, hello there, sir. Oh. Alright, so that's this weapon's tap and attack is a really neat slice and then a backflip away. Oh. And you, sir, I'm gonna try doing that. Huh. Nope. Let's try that again. Wow, completely missed. That's okay. We get a few souls, not too many. Nothing to really get excited about. An S-stock. How is that balanced? A little bit higher for strength, a little bit lower for dexterity. Can pierce an armored knight in one thrust. Oh, yep. I was still within the menu. Nope. Transient curse. Necessary for fighting the ghosts. I could also either use the transient cursed item, be cursed, or I believe there's a specific weapon you could use that would enable you to fight the ghosts of Old Town. I forget what the name of that place is. And then I believe there's a blacksmith here.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith, though. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
Wow, that's...
What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
Alright. But now we don't really have to worry about that much. I could buy Catalyst. I don't have any spells, though. But he sells spells. I'll have to consider doing some grinding to get that.
What is it? There's nothing to talk. We're both cursed, undead. But what's there really to moan about?
I guess nothing.
Come back soon. Smithing helps soothe my nerves. Don't let me wither away out of idleness.
Alright. And then... there is a door over here, which, since I have the master key, I can go. I have no intention of going into Blight Town now. It is a little bit too early for that. But I could. It's right there. I forget if the path on the left actually leads anywhere, but the path on the right does lead to a Decaying Dragon. And I like to take his stuff early too, so that I don't have to worry about getting it later. I believe you can only really take 2 items before the dragon wakes up and starts to get upset that you're taking all of his stuff. So let's go past him for a little bit. see exactly how far I can go before these drakes... These, Nathan drakes become an issue. Okay, I forget the best order in which you're supposed to pick these up in, so let's just... Aha! Wow. That was fast. But that's okay, because we only had like 500 souls to lose, and now those items are mine. But I'm still gonna go back and pick up those souls. Actually, let's take a look at the items first. We picked up a Dragon Crest shield. Shield of a nameless knight, likely a high-ranked knight of Astora. It does slow down our roll. Oh, thank you. And then, can I use the Astora's straight sword? No, that one requires... Is that faith? Yes, faith. Straight sword of an unknown knight, likely one of Astora's superiors. High-quality weapon with a powerful blessing. Alright, let's get our souls back. And then... head back to the bonfire. Because we're going to be done in that direction. Alright, now this guy is awake, aware, doesn't like items being stolen on his watch. He's just going to spew his gunk all over the place. Then we're just gonna move on, because he's still a little bit too tough for us. All right, back to the bonfire. All right, so we're back at the bonfire. Still stuff to collect over here. We've got an empty chest right in front of us. So exciting. Interesting that there are empty chests to decorate the environment. It presents the idea that you are not the first to travel this territory. And if you fail, you will certainly not be the last. Like, I think there's the expectation that whenever you come to an area, the treasure chests will always be filled with goodies to find, rather than just empty and open. Yeah, a firebomb. I always forget about using consumables in this game, though. In any Souls game, really. Hello, how are you?
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance. But I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Oh, a copper coin. Seems very worth something.
You again? Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
That would.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Sure, I don't have another covenant to abandon, but...
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
And we shall learn said gesture. Alright, what do you have for sale that I can't afford? Great heal, homeward. Return to the last fire rested at. Why would you even need more than one use? Seek guidance. What does that do?
Come again. The effectiveness of the
Yes,
technique.
yes, yes. I heard you the first time. Now then. We're going to have to deal... Actually, no, we don't have to deal with them yet because there's an item right here. But once we drop down into the darkened abyss... Am I actually strong enough to wield the Morning Star? Now that I've got a build that's more dex than anything else. I am not. Alright. Well, I suppose that means I don't have to worry about fighting these skeletons early. But, if I can remember which way is out... There we go. That was a lot harder than it should have been. Okay. Excuse me. We're just going to run by a lot of these folks. Grab the Zweihander, even though we don't need it. And this winged spear, even though we also do not need that. And whatever this is. Oh my gosh. We definitely gathered up quite the crowd. Let's see if I can get my minimal amount of souls back. Like, I suppose I don't necessarily need them, because it wasn't really that many. Excellent. And now that we're done just kind of like dicking around, we can proceed to the next checkpoint. Hello, sir. All right. Now that we can actually wield the straight sword, we've got our wide attacks. We've got a straight attack, which is great in case I'm in a narrow space. And let us carry on. Hello, how are you? Oh my. I was not paying attention to our distance. Oh, that was good. I appreciate any weapon that defeats an enemy in one hit. Almost one hit. Not that time. Oh. And you, sir, as well. And then, can we... No. Can we drop down this side? A ring of sacrifice. Fantastic. Now then, let's see if I can actually make this jump in one try. Fantastic. I mean, I usually do make that jump, but still, I have also not made that jump. So... another soul of lost undead, and then a narrow space to fight a rat. What are the two-handed attacks for this? Actually, hold on. What is the... It's a kick. Excellent. Not a special slice and then backflip. Okay, so strong two-hand is just bigger wide swing. Why, hello. And you. And you, why not? Ow. How rude. Now, there's nothing at this level in this building, so let us step back outside. Yeah, that delay in regards to the weapon swing. It always kind of throws me off in regards to this game. Because there's always like a little bit of time before your attack actually gets out. And then if, like, my own perception of the enemies is not good enough so that, like, they're starting their attack before I notice, or before I do, I will always be slower than them in regards to that case. Which always kind of emphasizes a more cautious style of play. Ah, the humanity! Oh, hello. Did I just, like, bounce on your head, Super Mario-esque? All right. Yeah, and this goes up here, and hello, big dragon fellow. Good to see you. I'm sure there will be plenty of good times to be had for all. And you... just to see if I've got it, like once or twice in my life. I might as well get off some successful parries while they're a little bit easier for me to do them. A wooden shield. What everybody wants for Christmas. All right, and actually, before we go into the bonfire area, I suppose we can do one more thing before we call it for the night. Oh, that was just one hit. Okay, putting faith, upgrading my faith so that I could wield the straight sword seems to have been a good decision.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about
Yeah,
you.
well now.
Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Would you like to buy some weapons? We don't need the residence key, I believe. We will grab the repair box and the bottomless box, so that we don't have a giant inventory filled with garbage.
Thank you kindly.
Always cackle maniacally after anything you say, because people will trust you more. It's a fact. What's the line from from Tucker and Dale versus Evil? Just smile and laugh. Hello. I mean, I suppose they don't need these heavy sword strikes to bring them down, but it works. Throwing knives. I will definitely use those at some point in time. Maybe. Never. I am very surprised that actually made it, considering how early I hit the jump button. But I will take that success nonetheless. Oh, did I miss something? I missed something already. That's what I feel like I'm rushing a little bit. And I feel like part of that is due to just to the Let's Play clock that I'm looking at the bottom right corner and the side of this recording. So let's try to not rush so much, and we are going to stop here for the night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.